Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you a mixed media project I threw together after these mugs that I am using didn't work on my last card. So if you see the I Run on Coffee and Chaos panel in the background, that was where these mugs were originally intended for. They are from a Ink Road stamp set called Boy Mom. And do I love the stamp set? Yes. Do I love the mugs? Yes. Did I love how they looked on my ink blended background? Not so much. And, it might have been a size thing. I think it was a white space thing. Like if I'd have cut them out with a white border, maybe they'd have looked better. I don't know. But this was, it happens. And I think we need to embrace sometimes the fact that what we have in our head and what comes out on paper doesn't always look like what we want it to look like. And it's okay to abandon ship and figure out something else. So that was what these mugs were. I did go with an embossing pen and re-wet some of the areas on here, and then I used a Tim Holtz distress powder. It's old school distress powder. It's not the glaze. This is antique linen. It definitely gave me that ceramic mug vibe. That was what I was going for. If you've ever done ceramics, it's the ivory dipped glaze. I don't know. It's what I remember from pottery class in high school. And I love that color. Anyways, I'm going on a 8.5 by 4 inch panel here, and I'm taking the clockwork stencil, and I am selectively coloring, those clock faces in yellow and the other area in crackling campfire. And then I'm just going to cheat the stencil a little bit to fill in my corner. I knew I was cutting off the top and the bottom side a little bit, so I wasn't too worried about that, but I didn't want a blank space. Not that it matters, because mixed media, you go in multiple layers. It's not really an issue. I did have to delete some footage because I wasn't actually on camera when I did some of it. So I did finish inking through that stencil sporadically, and then I went in with my blending brushes and put a layer of whatever was left on the brush along the outsides and over it, because I didn't want that stark white to be there. So I went in with a stamp from the Ink Road stamps with the cogs there and added those all around the background. And then I'm going to come back in with my still dirty stencil and stencil through it. Now, I should have not redipped into my bucket. So I had to take it away and hide it from myself so I didn't redip again, because of course it was mixing with that distress oxide and I didn't want to damage or contaminate my opaque crackle paste. I did not. It stayed clean, thankfully. And so I ran and rinsed those off quick. And then I will come back in with the magic of cows needing to get milk so everything dries. That's why I like to do those steps right before I leave. I don't have to sit there and wait. So I'm coming in with some distress ink in walnut stain here and heavily inking some of that, adding some water to get it to flow a little bit, lifting up some of that to clean off a little bit from the crackle paste. It kind of let the yellows show back through, so it kind of pushed the brown into the crackle, and then, you know what I mean? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's, mixed media. It's hard to explain mixed media. It's just plain, really. I mean, that's all I was doing. I came back in with walnut stain after I trimmed down my panel to 3.5 by 8.5, and I inked it fairly heavily. And then coming in with mustard seed again, I wanted to lighten up a little bit in the center area, kind of put a grounding spot for my mugs. Did I use it as a grounding spot? No, not really. And can you even see? Not a whole lot. So I liked how it looked on that heavily inked outside, so I just went around and added some more interest areas in there. Cleaned up my workspace again. And then I'm going to come in with some Distress spray stain in Picket Fence. And no, I haven't used the bottle yet, so I had to actually get the plastic cover thing off. And that's going to end up soaking up a lot of that yellow and, brown color, so it really doesn't stay stark white. I was trying to decide if I wanted to add a sentiment of some sort on front, and I decided the Boy Mom Fuel Mug was the way to go. I was using the mugs anyways. I really didn't think it needed another sentiment. So I will do regular, just, glitter art glue on 2 of the mugs in the back, and then I will add some foam tape to the other 3 mugs for my front layer. And because this is mixed media and it's, got that crackle paste on there, I do put the glitter art glue on top of my foam squares so they do stay stuck down. Plus, I don't know if my panel was totally dry at this part. I didn't wait for the splatter to dry or anything else to really dry. I was just going for it. So as a boy mom, I can definitely say boy mom fuel was definitely needed when they were little. They were busy critters. Now I just need boy mom fuel because I'm old and, tired all the time. I'm really not that old, but you get my point, right? And I did cut off that one and add it over. I think I wished I would have put it down so it was underneath that other Boy Mom Fuel mug just a tiny little bit. But it's kind of just hanging out over there. It is what it is. I really don't drink 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day. I drink 32 ounces in the morning. And then a caffeinated beverage or 2 throughout the day. Maybe. Sometimes. Here's a close-up of that crackle glaze and all of the layers and, all of that mixed media goodness. So if you got this far, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for comments. I love them all. Thank you so much and have a happy